I believe we're live now. And I'm hearing a sound on my phone, and it might be the actual YouTube alerting for this show. Hang on just a minute. Well, I don't know if that's what it is. But anyway, here we are. I believe I see my sister waiting in the wings, and I will add her momentarily. Just doing a little catching up. Now, I usually get one or two new subscribers every day since we started this. So that's been good. I got another one this morning, and then I got another one this afternoon. So I've been getting around 2 or 3 a day, new subscribers. And I believe it's just people that are just finding us. Not necessarily people that I know or that Kathy know, but just people that just happen upon our stream and check us out and like what they see, hopefully, and then enjoying and subscribing to the channel. So that's great. And I want to thank everyone for doing that, for subscribing for the channel, for supporting Being Real, and for checking out what we're doing. And hopefully we'll continue to give you guys something entertaining. And of all the subjects I picked today, favorite horror films. And kind of like with the subject of favorite films, I mean the ones that you turn to repeatedly. You know, there's lots of horror films you could suggest that you like, but what are your favorites? What are the ones that stand above the crowd that, maybe you grew up with them or whatever, and what is your all-time favorite? And just name some favorites. And I've got a stack here, and I'm sure Kathy's got a stack. And my understanding is that Jake was going to join us tonight. I hope he does. And but right now, let me add my sister. So hang on.
Hi.
All right, there we go.
Hey, Jake.
And so how's your day been, sis?
Oh, you don't want to know. My face is still red. My blood pressure went through the roof. I had to fight for the right to get my statin refilled.
I take a statin. I take Simvastatin.
I did for years, and they changed it to a Torvastatin. It's the same principle, but I've been on Simvastatin for several years. They said it's time to change, which they do periodically, right? And my doctor went out of business that I've had for the last 7 years, so I had to get a new one. When you get a new one, you spend about an hour with them. You take all your meds in that they would be writing for, and you hand it to them. Say, look, and the nurse puts it all in the system for the doctor, right? Well, this is one they sent a refill in March. I didn't get it. Well, what they did was, when you're old, they tend to not want to really listen to you sometime when you're trying to talk to them. And I said, listen, I use this pharmacy in San Antonio. It's mail order. Oh, yeah, we know them. I said, well, let me give you the address. Oh, no, we know them. Well, apparently, them not listening to me and not letting me finish my sentence and not telling them, Jay, they send the refill to a pharmacy. I've never, I've heard of it. It's part of the chain, but there's like 30 of these pharmacies in San Antonio. San Antonio's big. But anyway, I read, okay, well, without it, if you just go cold turkey, I've been out of it 4 days. I need my med, If you can't get a prescription for it, what do? Well, if you don't take it, it can cause heart attacks, stroke, sudden heart failure. It's some bad stuff can happen if you've been on it like I have for a long time and you just don't take it, right?
Just cold turkey quit.
Well,
yeah.
I didn't get my refill. I needed it. And the nurse told me, I called last week. She goes, oh, yeah, we called it in. and even put a refill on it. You should get it. Well, it comes 2 days FedEx. So I knew she was lying because I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, So anyway, I also use a local pharmacy. So I called today and got the runaround from one lady I talked to, called back and talked to my actual doctor's nurse. And I was crying. I was mad. I was bent out of shape. But she cleaned it up. They're going to send it to Walgreens and they're going to deliver it to my house. So it's probably tomorrow or the day after, but at least maybe I can pull through because I'm scared, man. I already have a little bit of problem with my heart. I don't need some more.
Yeah.
I just can't get a medicine I need. Man, I was
Well,
so.
that's something I've arranged with HEB is to get my medicine delivered, and so
Yeah.
I think it was yesterday they delivered my Simvastatin. So
Yeah, there you go. So you did, but here's a bottom line. If something's not right with some of this medical issues, a medical thing, you got to be your own advocate. Speak up, scream, holler till they listen.
yeah,
So I did, and I believe it's straightened out.
well, good.
I believe it is. We'll
But
find
anyway,
out.
I see you waiting in the wings. I believe I see Jake. So
Oh, good.
hang on and let me see what our layout should be. Group layout, and let's add him.
Hi, Jake.
Hey,
Hi,
sir.
Kathy. Hi, Jay.
Hey, how you doing today, sir?
Not bad. How about you guys?
Pretty good. Kathy's relaying her troubles with her prescription, and
Yeah. I had trouble with the clinic to the point, Jake, I was in my kitchen washing dishes. I think I ran through the whole list of curse words that I had. It wasn't nobody on the phone, but you know how you just gotta let it out sometime.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
But it got straightened out, and I should get my medicine soon. It's it's a cholesterol. It's not like I'm asking them for the morphine. Come on now.
Really? Yeah. What the hell?
But it's straightened out now. Listen, you may not want to talk about it on here, and if you don't, it's okay. But didn't you have an important interview?
Yesterday. Yes. With Ken Sagos, who played Kincaid in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 and 4.
oh, cool. You interviewed him.
Oh yeah, last night.
How can we and anyone that's watching, how can they see that?
I I have to post it, so I'll post it on Tuesday. But if they type in on YouTube, Jake the horror movie geek, it'll take you to my YouTube channel, and then from there I have my podcast on Eye for Horror as like a playlist.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Everybody needs to follow Jake now. Sounds like he's got some cool stuff going on.
Well, yeah, and that's something I wasn't aware that you had a show.
No.
Go check it out.
It's fairly new, So.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the online world. It's fun, chaotic, but it's never dull.
Thank you.
Well, and it's cool. You got a good get there. To get that interview is really cool. So
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to watch it. No hurry, but when you get it done, let me and Jay know, or one of us, and we share, and we'll watch it.
yeah, definitely.
So, how's your day going, Jake?
Good. I just got back from Walmart, got some groceries, so I'm good.
I did a grocery run yesterday. I don't drive, so it's always going to be a neighbor that takes me. And my neighbor Tommy took me to Walmart and got groceries, got milk, and got water, and got cat food. The cats eat better than I do. I got a bunch of outdoor cats, and they're fixed. They're all fixed. But yeah, they eat good. Those cats. But yeah, I stocked up pretty good. So. And I was trying to think if there's something else that I wanted to mention. I guess not. I guess we can get to the subject here pretty soon. But yeah, I've noticed our numbers are going up, or the views are going up on our previous shows. So we're doing pretty good. And like I say, I'm getting some new subscribers, and going pretty good. Being real is it's gotten off to a good start, and I think we're doing good. And like I say, of all the subjects I pick is, well, your favorite this, your favorite that, favorite movies and favorite horror movies, and I know that's pretty expansive. But of course, what I mean, there's several horror films that you like, but what are the ones that stand above the crowd? What are the ones that you've been turning to throughout your life? They're your tried and true, your comfort films, the ones that sort of stand above just an average horror film. Even though there's several that you like, what are the ones that kind of are, stand above? And I'm going to assume, Jake, we had a best movie or favorite movie show, and you told me your favorite movie. I'm going to assume your favorite movie is also your favorite horror movie. Or am I wrong?
It's one of many, but it's one I go to the most, I think.
Okay, and name it again.
Night of the Demons.
Night of the Demons, yeah. And a good choice. And a lot of fun. And as Jake pointed out on that show, it's got everything you would want in a horror movie. You've got your beasts, you got your boobs, you got your blood. It's campy, it's a lot of fun. You get some good kills, good gore moments. You get some a naked female flesh. Yeah, if you're a guy, you're a dude, and or whatever, no judgment, whatever you are, and that's what you're looking after. That's what you're after in a horror movie. You get that in Night of the Demons. So yeah, and definitely a good choice. But Kathy, give us a favorite horror film.
You want me to kick it off?
Yeah, kick us off.
Okay, well now, y'all know this one, but I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit more about it. What Lies Beneath. Some people go, is that horror? It is actually billed as drama, horror, mystery, and thriller. And it was made or released in 2000, and it stars Michelle Pfeiffer and Harrison Ford as a married couple. And they have a daughter that Michelle Pfeiffer plays. Is it Carrie? Claire. And it shows the very first thing you see of Claire is Mama's waking her up to take her to college. Well, they have just bought this house. She takes her and sends her off, right? Well, her and her dad, Harrison Ford, they take her, Norman, he plays Norman, they take her to college and drop her off, right? And then they come back and he goes back to work. He is a professor, but he is a scientist. So basically what Harrison does is he's a university research professor is what he is. And what he does is, and they've got this cool, big old dopey looking dog called Cooper. And so they've got this beautiful home. They've just moved into this place. It was his dad's, but he passed away. So now it's theirs, and they've done a lot of renovating on it and everything. Well, it doesn't take Claire alone being home with her and the dog to realize that the place is haunted. It just is haunted, right? And then she tries to talk to Norman about it when he comes home. He's like, if it's haunted, it's my dad. It's his place, and that's it. And and she goes, this is something evil. I'm telling you, it's haunted. Something's not right. Well, he's just because he's a scientist. He don't believe in it, So he was just like, well, okay. Well, apparently she had been in a car wreck a few years prior to this and had some emotional issues because of it. So she's, she a lot of PTSD, and she had seen a psychiatrist and such. So he's like, well, it wouldn't hurt. Why don't you go see him? So she's all still a little delusional, right? And she thinks, well, what if I'm hallucinating? Come to find out, she wasn't. And this ghost is one of her husband's dead lovers. He swears there's just one, but And Michelle Pfeiffer, it goes on to where he tries to convince her that she just needs some help. You know what I mean? And then he finally admits to it. Yes, I had an affair. And I brought her out here to Dad's place. Of course, they weren't living there then. And something happened, and she died. And she said, "Okay, I can forgive you of the affair. I can," but he said it was an accident. She died. And then later on, he admits that it was an accident. And she's like, "Well, I can't live like this. I can't live like that. I'm going to turn you in." Well, she goes running from him. He turns real evil. Oh, I love Harrison Ford when he gets evil. But he turns real evil on her. And what ensues later ends up, it's pretty scary, actually, what all went on. They ended up in this big knockdown, drag out fight. And it ends up in the lake, but I don't want to be a spoiler. The dog's okay.
Yeah.
And Claire, when they first moved in, was convinced that her neighbor had killed his wife. And she went over. The wife was crying at the fence, talking to her. She's heard her husband coming down the road. And the wife ran back into the house, and she hadn't seen the wife since then. So, it's just a fence between their house and the other house. So she just is convinced this man killed his wife. And she goes off on him at this big, he's also a professor at this college, and they're all in one of these big mixers that all the professors have to attend, dressed up type of stuff, just sipping on champagne. And she goes over to this doctor and goes off on him about, "I know you killed your wife. I know you did. You bastard. What'd you do with her?" And she comes walking up. The wife goes walking up. "Hey, honey." He says, "Here's my wife." And she had seen her before, so she knew. So, of course, she thinks she's going crazy. But it's really good. I mean, I really liked it. And, yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff that you would consider horror in it. There's
another a subject that we may cover is favorite directors. Just in general, of all kinds of movies, not just horror films, but just films in general. Because What Lies Beneath is Robert Zemeckis.
Right.
And he directed Back to the Future. He directed Forrest Gump. He directed Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh gosh, there's all kinds of films that people would think they're favorite films. Castaway. And Robert Zemeckis always was real good at directing movies that had lots of special effects and and that kind of thing. And that's another good example of a good director, handling the subject matter, Robert Zemeckis in What Lies Beneath. So that's a good choice. Definitely a good choice.
Yeah. And I go back to it. It's not it's like Talented Mr. Ripley. It's not one of those that I would put it as my top 1, 2, or 3, but it is one that it's one of my favorites. I go back to it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Something that you go back you go back frequently. That's my favorite. Yeah,
you got a lady that's dead in the lake. You got Possession. The ghost of that girl possessed Claire Michelle's Viper's body. At one point, you got neighbors having their relations, and you hear it. They're happy then. But then you got the neighbors fighting, and you hear that too. And there is a lot of elements to it. And that's what I like about it,
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good choice. And it is one, it has been a while since I've seen it, but I've always liked it. Every time I've seen it, I always liked that film. So Jake, give us another one. Give us Night of the Demons is your top, but give us another one where you turn to frequently. Favorite horror film.
The 1988 Stan Winston classic, Pumpkinhead.
Oh yeah, Pumpkinhead. Oh yeah,
love this movie. It's great story, cool character. Stan Winston, and of course it has the man Lance Henriksen in it. And the kills are good, but you feel bad for the characters. I think kind of even Joel, who's the reason for Ed Harley wanting to get revenge. I felt bad for him, even though he caused it, the whole movie basically. But yeah.
And one of the coolest creatures in a horror film is Pumpkinhead, and of course, Stan Winston not only being a special effects, man, one of the best, and doing practical effects, makeup effects, and creature effects, but actually directed the film too. But yeah, Pumpkinhead is one of the coolest just creatures in a horror film, period. And the whole concept of revenge taking form of a actual being, living creature, that to take revenge but yeah, no, real good choice, Pumpkinhead. Let me pick from my stack here, and I talked to Kathy about this one, and I don't know if I turned you on to this one or it's just something you found yourself. But this is a movie that I enjoyed. Starting the movie, I just thought, well, this is a good kind of slasher film. It's well made, but then around the halfway point, it goes in a direction that it's so wild you had no idea the movie was going to go there, and it turns into something special. It turns into something different, something you didn't expect, and that's Cabin in the Woods. And you start off with it just thinking you're going to see a typical sort of slasher film, Cabin in the Woods, kind of an Evil Dead kind of thing, it's a literal cabin in the woods where bad stuff happens, and there's a slasher, and but it's well made. You're enjoying it, but I don't even want to give a spoiler about where it goes, because if you haven't seen Cabin in the Woods, you got to go see Cabin.
Yeah,
that's what I say. If you haven't seen it, you got to see it, and trust me, it's not going to go where you expect it to go. If you haven't already been spoiled and know what happens, it goes in the direction you're going to like, holy shit. It is one of the biggest surprises in a horror film I've ever had, is Cabin in the Woods, and the direction that it goes. That, it starts off in just a typical well-made slasher film, and then just takes a complete jump off a cliff. And it's like, oh shit, one of the best examples of being really surprised about a direction that a movie goes in, Cabin in the Woods. So,
sorry.
But what do you think about that? What do you think about Cabin in the Woods, Jake?
It's a classic. It's so fun, and Sigourney Weaver is such a she's a female dog, but she's great in the movie.
Yeah.
There you go. Hey, you can say bitch. It's okay.
Okay, she's a bitch.
Yeah, we talk dirty. We talk dirty here, so.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was trying to think who all besides Sigourney Weaver. Chris Hemsworth. But anyway, yeah, well, like I say, this is just, you got to see it. If you haven't seen it, you got to see Cabin in the Woods. It's one that I turn to. I'll watch probably once a year because it's just so much fun. And like Jake says, it's so much fun. And and like I say, the direction it goes in is something that just takes you by surprise. If you've never seen it, yeah, definitely. I couldn't suggest it more highly to go see Cabin in the Woods. Okay, what we? Wait, is it Jake next?
Isn't it Kathy?
Me, yeah. Okay, here's one, and I think, now I may be wrong, Jake, but I think over on another channel, you and I chatted about this briefly in chat. Signs everywhere, signs. Now, it might have not been you. I apologize if it is. If it wasn't, Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix. So it came out in 2002.
M. Night Shyamalan.
Yep. IMDb gave it a 6.8 out of 10. I thought that's pretty good. And Mel Gibson's a single father. I think he was either a retired pastor or current pastor, and he's got these two little kids. And he lives in this farmhouse with his brother, Joaquin, and and they raise corn. And they, so there's a big old huge cornfield, and they get up one day and they realize that there is crop circles in this corn. And they go to try to, to check them out and everything, research them. And I mean, because, not to be rude, but the man needs every penny he can bring in by harvesting that corn for these two kids, right? Because that's his job, it's his life. That's how he makes his money. And so it's very unique. And it goes in and explores the mysterious real life effects of crop circles on people. So Graham is the dad, is Mel's name. He was a former Episcopal priest. And then he realized it wasn't long till other things are happening, and his little girl always gets a glass of water and sets it by her bed. And she ends up setting them all over the house. And all of a sudden you see that water shaking. And something's about to happen, but you don't really know what. And it ends up being an alien invasion. And this alien that looks about 8 feet tall comes walking in their house. It's pretty scary. But I like it because it's one of those that'll give you a couple of jump scares for sure, if not more. And it's chilling. I mean, what do you
it's
do?
creepy. And when people talk about people that are like a part of a cult, or or something like that, or they talk about their conspiracy theorists or something like that, they say they're foil hat wearers. They wear foil hats.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess that kind of originates from science, is because the kids, particularly the little girl, starts at first wearing a foil hat. She puts on a hat, made out of foil, because it protects her from the aliens' psychic waves or something like that, but yeah, it creepy, very well done, very well made, yeah, a good choice, definitely. Science,
Yeah. That's just one every now and then when I like aliens. I like to watch the alien show. But instead of watching aliens, I watch some different spin-offs and theories of it because, I don't know, they just fascinate me. I like y'all if you come to visit. So anyway, be kind. We all. Anyway, so when I get to want to see some really unusual aliens, I'm like, okay. And see, here's the deal. I watch it and enjoy it. But also, you got to understand, man, when you're a parent and now grandparent, you have this very helpless feeling when you can't protect your kids or your grandkids from something. Life does bumps and bruises, but good Lord, can you imagine? How am I going to keep us alive? So it's a really good watch. I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, who's next here? Is it me or is it Jake?
I think it's Jake.
Jake. Okay.
Yeah, 1998. I believe it was Robert Rodriguez classic, The Faculty.
Oh yeah.
I was 10 years old when it came out, and we watched it on pay-per-view, and unfortunately we missed like the first 15 minutes. So years later, I finally see the whole thing, and I love this movie. It's just a fun. It's of its time, but it's just fun. There's some great performances and great actors in it. It's just a good time. And
now that's Robert Rodriguez, right?
right.
Yeah.
Austin. Ain't he an Austin boy?
Yeah, Austin. Yeah. Um,
I liked Faculty. Isn't that the one where the teachers go crazy?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
well, it's now, and it's been a while since I've seen The Faculty. Are they? I don't want to spoil too much for people that haven't seen it, but are they aliens?
Yeah. It's kind of it's like a mix of Invasion of the Body Snatchers and
Yeah.
something else. But yeah, like X-Files and Scream and all that.
Yeah. And Robert Rodriguez, like I say, in his films, several of his films are good choices. They're just films to watch. Of course, I love, I'm trying to think of several of his films that I really enjoy. Was it Hatchet?
Didn't he do Dazed and Confused?
No, who did Days Confused? Who did? He did do Days Confused, but
I like that movie a lot.
yeah, I do. I really do like Days Confused. Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
All right. That's where that came. And
I love McConaughey. And really and truly, I'll probably live about 20 miles from him, Jake.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Gosh.
Yeah. Of course, there's big gated compounds around where he lives, and I don't. But still, I thought it was kind of cool. I knew he had mentioned him and his family had built him a home in Georgetown, and I live in Georgetown.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's a good choice. And it's been, I'm glad you brought that up because that's one I'd like to see again. It's been a while since I've seen The Faculty and I want to see that. Well, this one, I mean, a lot of people would say this is their favorite horror film. I don't think it's my favorite. It's right up there close to the top. I wouldn't say it's my favorite. I mentioned in the favorite films, The Thing being right at the top of one of my favorite films. And I think it actually may be my favorite horror film, The Thing. But real close to the top. And speaking of Austin,
I can't see it. It's glaring.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, yeah.
This is a DVD steelbook, and it's
Sorry, it glared on me.
glaring. Yeah, and I actually have a light on me today to try to help help a little bit. But yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I didn't see Texas Chainsaw Massacre until like the mid '80s. I think it was like '85. They had a revival of it, and it was in Corsicana. They used to have a 4-screen theater there in Corsicana, and I was with my friend Barry, and we went to Corsicana and saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I think it was '85. They had a revival, of that, and I had never seen it before. And I'm watching this movie, and a lot of that movie just felt like a documentary to me. It's like I have met these people. I've met that hitchhiker. I've met that cook. I have met these people before. And living in rural Texas, backwoods Texas, and you see all types of inbred folks, in rural Texas, and you're lots of, because I used to have a little motorcycle. I called it a mini bike, but it was literally a little motorcycle. My parents bought me brand new, and it was a Honda Z50. And I would ride with a friend, my friend Mark, on the back on the back with me, and me driving. We'd go on these back roads, and we would find barbed wire fences, and behind a barbed wire fence, we'd find these old houses, old abandoned houses, wooden houses, and I'd park the bike. We'd get out, and we would crawl under the barbed wire fence, and we'd go look inside these old houses. And there'd be chicken feathers, and there'd be like old bones in there, things like that, of like chickens and rats and dead animals and rabbits and things, and be old Chester drawers. I think one of them had like an old piano that was all broken down, And when I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre and saw that the way, the inside of that house was like full of bones and full of, the way it was decorated, I was like, man, I have seen that. It felt real to me. And then when they pick up the hitchhiker, and then and he talks about head cheese, and and he's got that Polaroid camera and taking the picture, and all that. And I said, I've met that son of a bitch. I've met a few hitchhikers in my life, but yeah, that movie felt so real to me. It didn't just feel like a movie. It felt almost like a documentary. A lot of it did. Now, I've never met someone coming at me with a chainsaw, but a lot of just the look of that movie, I felt the heat. Watching that movie, you just feel the heat. You feel that steep Texas heat, where it's like 110 degrees outside, and it's humid and hot, and it's just, you just, when you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you can feel the heat of the Texas atmosphere, and like I say, that movie had a lot of impact on me. Just the look and feel of it was like an accurate depiction of, Texas, rural Texas, particularly during the 1970s. When it was set the time period it takes place in. And it's one that I'll watch probably once a year. I'll watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre because, like I say, and it just it's like I'm stepping into the past and reliving old memories or something. Not that I had a bad childhood or anything, nothing like that, or was like went through these terrible moments, but just the look and feel of it. It feels so accurate to how Texas looked and felt during that time period. So, and well, particularly backwoods Texas, rural Texas. So, yeah. So, who's next?
I'll bring us home with one. Well, not home. I'm not done. But anyway, this one has to be a remake. But I found it. And when I watched it, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch this again and probably again for a real long. Smile.
I still haven't seen it. I keep seeing it pop up on it's on
it's
Amazon channel or it might be an Amazon channel. I keep seeing it, but I still haven't seen it.
IMDb gave it 6.5 out of 10. It's unsettling, ruthless, and thrilling. After witnessing a bizarre, traumatic incident involving a patient, Dr. Rose Cotter, she is a psychiatrist, starts having experiencing frightening occurrences and things that are happening that she can't really explain, right? And when this girl came in there, she was a graduate student and she was in the corner. And when Doc come in, she's like, she said, I'm terrified. I can't function. I can't go to class. I can't eat. I can't sleep. I'm just terrified. And she starts explaining to her what's happening. It's an unseen thing, something unseen, but she can tell when it's near her. And people, she said, when it hits people around them, they die, and they spread whatever this is. I guess it's like some kind of virus. Anyway, not like COVID, but anyway. And she's talking about, she goes into a convulsion on the floor, the patient does. And then she stands back up and she smiles. This creepy ass smile. It's creepy. Okay. And then she dies. Okay. Well, what she basically does is mutilates herself standing right there. She just mutilates herself. Anyway, so Dr. Rose is taken back by what this patient has done. And after she's seeing it, she has these hallucinations, the smile itself is a mysterious affliction, it's described. But poor Rose, she wants to know what's causing this, right? And she goes from this real intelligent, well dressed person to just a nervous wreck herself, and that's what happens. Overwhelming terror begins taking over her life, and Rose has to confront her troubling past, and try try to get over some horrible things that are happening to her. It stars Sosie Bacon, Cal Penn, Robin Weigert, and it basically sums up the horrors of the mind. And she finds out by this detective friend of hers that there is one person that had this smile affliction that didn't die. And she says, I got to talk to him because apparently you have about a week before it'll kill you. And so she went to this guy to try to find out why. He lived through it. And he said, I'll talk about it, but only if the cop leaves the room. Well, the cop left the room and she said, tell me. Rose is desperate to try to save her own life, right? Because this thing, And he said, the only way you can save yourself is if you kill somebody in a dramatic way. You got to kill somebody. And then it passes to somebody else and leaves you. It's like, well, I can't kill anybody. He said, well, you need to think about it because that's the only way I survived is I killed somebody. That's why he's in the pen, right? But he no longer has that affliction. It saved him. And it's the horrors of the mind, smiles of exploration of trauma and madness. It's good, y'all. I'm telling you, I know.
I definitely want to see it. Have you seen it, Jake?
Yeah, I have actually.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
I liked it. Like I said, Jake, I watched the 2022 version. Yeah,
that's something I didn't know.
There may be older versions, but I thought I had seen the same way with you, Jay. Pops up. I think it's Netflix that I watch it on. Pops up when I just scroll hard.
I see this woman smiling like she's got this, ear to ear smile, and I was like, "Well, that is great. That looks creepy."
It's demented.
Yeah, I want to check out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I like it.
Okay, Jake, you're next.
Okay. I will go with, once again, another one from 1988, the Chuck Russell classic, The Blob.
Oh, man.
Love this movie.
Oh, man. This one, I'll tell you, I don't want to interrupt you because I'll let you talk, but you bringing that up, and I wish I had brought it up. I think I've got it. I think I have it on DVD somewhere. But that one I saw in the theater, I think with my friend Barry again.
That'd be fun.
And just, it was just on a whim, they're making another Blob. I thought, what the hell, and I would just like, damn, this is good. The practical effects on that are so good in in that version of the Blob. And it just stands out high and above, I guess, any version of the Blob, even the original. That it's a very tense movie and got some of the best practical effects moments that you'll see in a movie. Absolutely. Where you get a guy get literally drugged through it. Well, let me sink into a sink, and well, it's a kitchen sink, isn't it? That he's grabbed and he's just pulled.
Yeah.
And then the girl in the telephone booth. That when this Blob is enveloped this telephone booth and basically just it all envelops her. Some of the best just practical effects. But go ahead, Jake. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no problem. I saw this when I was 10, and it scared the shit out of me, and I loved it. And the characters, Shawnee Smith and Kevin Dillon. Kevin Dillon was so cool. He's like he had the mullet, the jacket, and then Shawnee Smith is cool. And then Jeffrey DeMunn. I can't say what happened to his character if he lives or dies, but his character was great. And the story, also the song at the end credits, "Brave New Love" by the German band Alien, is fantastic. So
Yeah.
check it
I've
out.
heard of them. I have heard of them. I might
And
want to.
also Kevin Dillon, brother of Matt. Of course, Matt was the big, a popular and famous one, but his brother Kevin, that I probably his most popular role was in the Blob, Kevin Dillon.
Sure.
But yeah, no, real good choice. Now when you brought that up, oh yeah, the Blob, I love the Blob. I'm sorry,
Apparently,
that got me going when you brought that up. Is oh yeah, I love the Blob.
that would have been a really cool one to see on the big screen for sure.
Yeah, I did. I saw that on the screen. So, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. And when we talk about practical effects, that you know that everything's CGI these days, and it's like you talk about the best movies, the best horror films had practical effects, had actual real physical effects were done, and that's one of the best examples is that version of the Blob. But yeah, great choice.
Absolutely. Also, a quick spoiler. Chuck Russell had the guts to kill a kid, and it looked fantastic, and that kid was an asshole. Anyway.
Yeah, he had it coming.
Yeah.
He had it coming. Well, here's one I'll bring up. This was, I believe, a made-for-TV movie, and I saw it, because I'm old. I'm 58, so I saw this when this was new, when it first aired on television. So I couldn't have been more than about 11 or 12 years old. I'm trying to think, what's the year? If I can find the year that this came out. Yeah, gosh, I'm so nearsighted that I'll have to really do some, looking to find out what. 1981. Okay, 1981. And I'll say one name, Larry Drake. And of course, if you're the TV show that he was in, I forgot Larry Drake, where I know it's not. I'm trying to think, but mentally challenged. We'll say that. You can't say the R word anymore. But he played one in this TV show, and it was. I'm trying to think what the show he was in that he replayed. Larry Drake. But anyway, is Dark Knight of the Scarecrow.
Yes, love that movie. Great.
Yeah, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. And there's someone that's killed, and they think Larry Drake did it. He didn't do it. But he's mentally challenged. He's very slow. He's childlike. And they go on they form a mob and they kill him. And he's innocent, but they kill him. Well, he comes back. He comes back in the form of an actual scarecrow. Because what they do is they nail him to this, basically nail him to the cross, basically. And he's got this the hood over his head, scarecrow hood. And they nail him up like a scarecrow, if I'm remembering right, when they kill him. And but anyway, he returns to exact his revenge. A silent killer. There's a grain elevator scene I love. I'm trying to think all the different kills in Dark Knight of the Scarecrow, but there's some great kills. And for a TV movie, there's some really good kills in it, and really tense and really creepy. And but yeah, Larry Drake as this mentally challenged poor guy that is murdered and then comes back for revenge, and he becomes basically a silent killer, after he's killed. He comes back from the dead, to exact his revenge and kill people one by one. But yeah, Dark Knight of the Scarecrow. Find you a copy of it. It may be streaming somewhere. I don't know if it's streaming somewhere, but yeah, find it and watch it. If you haven't seen it, find it and watch it. It's a really good example of like a movie that was made for TV, but still holds up really well, really creepy, and a great performance by Larry Drake. Yeah. So, Dark Night of the Scarecrow. So, okay, who's next? Kathy?
Yep. This is also one that's not all that old. It was made in 2019, I think. The Silence. It stars Kiernan Shipkick, Stanley Tucci, Miranda Otto, John Corbett. I watched it on Netflix. Director is John R. Leonetti. It's really good. So here's the premise. The world's under attack from these creatures who hunt humans by sound. Apparently, they can't see you, but if you make any sound, like turn on your car or, they come in swarms and they're big critters.
It's kind of like a Quiet Place.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But there's a family. There's a grandmother, mother, father, little brother, and then there's I just love him, the sexy one, John Corbett. This is 2019, right? They decided they're watching the news when this starts. Now, their daughter, the 13-year-old, now is 16 years old, is she was deaf at 13, right? She was in a car accident that killed her grandparents, and now she's deaf from it. So they're thinking, and she can talk. I mean, the whole family signs. So, they had come up with the idea that the news channels are all saying, stay in your house, a government stand, don't leave, stay in your house, make no noise. Anything above a whisper, they're in trouble, because these things will attack windows till they break them. They hit, and then they'll come in and they'll kill you. They'll eat your guts out. Okay. So the government's saying, everybody stay indoors. Well, what do they want to do? Oh no, we need to get out of the city. I've been boarding up all that stuff, but anyway, they end up, the family is in one car, and the John Corbett plays the best friend of the dad, Stanley Tucci's character, that they became best friends in high school when somebody was bullying Stanley, and John Corbett, stuck up for him. So they all are caravanning. Here's the family first, and then he's behind it, right? And they're headed out of the city. They decided they're going to head out of the city and find somewhere to den up, because, of course, they're in a neighborhood, and you might be good, but what if somebody's car alarm goes off next door to you? And they're going to attack your house and theirs too, and they're going to get in eventually. So they all head out, and they can't. It gets to the point to where they run across a swarm of these things, and John Corbett's cars. He took a detour and it went off into a ditch, and he's trapped in the car. He can't get out. So he had a bunch of guns that he had went and got his prep kit together, right? And so he told Stanley Tucci's character, I can't remember his name, he said, bring me my guns and you guys go. Get your family out of here. And so they end up going, he ends up shooting a bunch of the things. And then you wonder if the last shot is maybe for him. His leg's stuck in this wreck. He can't get out. Well, anyway, the family gets out of the car, gets their stuff, starts walking down. Now, these things are all in the trees everywhere, y'all. There's a bunch of them. But if you don't say anything, you're safe. Well, this whole family, remember, can sign, right? Because of their daughter. They've been 3 years. They all learned sign language. So they're headed down. They find this cabin with this lady is standing out there with her gun. And she's screaming at them, get away from my cabin, get away from my cabin. and she shoots in the air. Well, when she did that, them things come and attack her and kill her. So while they're killing her, the family sneaks in her cabin, right? And then these other cult-like Waco, Texas type cult shows up in their long black robes and signs to them that they want to talk to them. And of course, the rifle and the daddy goes out on the front porch and says, no, you can't. Well, one little girl got away, and they realized real quick that it's a cult. Every one of their members had their tongues cut out, so they couldn't talk and make noise. And it just gets more bizarre as we go along. But so anyway, like I said, it's this cult wants to try to get a hold of the daughter because she's got a high sense. Her senses are high, right? So like her hearing is gone, but everything else isn't. I mean, she's very smart, you know. And so the dad's having to protect them a bit against the critters. Be quiet. And the cult. I'll kill them. And as they venture along on this escapade. But anyway, it's pretty cool.
Sounds creepy.
And The Silence, it's called.
It's The Silence 2019 horror. Let's see. Let me see if I wrote down. I like to write down the ratings, but I didn't on this. Like I said, The Silence. And Stanley Tucci, John Corbett, Miranda Otto, and Kiernan Shipka. Now there is, and directed by John R. Leonetti. It's really good. I mean, I stumbled across it looking to see, okay, I know I've seen more horror movies. What, you know, because I don't have much physical media at all. So I'm like, okay, let me watch that. And now it's one of my new favorites.
Well, is it
The Silence, yeah.
The Silence. Okay. Well, this is one that I frequently return to, and I think I actually did see this in the theater.
You skipped Jake.
Did I skip Jake? Is it Jake's turn?
Yes,
Yeah,
Jake.
okay, though. Go
ahead, Jake. No, you go ahead.
No, Jake. I want to. Yeah, it goes you, me, Jake.
Okay. I'm glad you said. I'm glad you're keeping up, Kathy.
This is the 2003 follow-up. It was directed by. Well, I won't say it was directed by, but Jeepers Creepers 2. I
love both of them.
Yes, thank you. The first two are the best. Oh, nice.
Oh yeah, big fan of Jeepers Creepers.
Part two is just it allowed the creeper to have more fun because you knew what he was now, and he was more mysterious in the first one, which was scarier. But this one was just more fun, and there's some great kills in this. You know, and just I love it. You know, and I seen it in theaters, and that was a hell of an experience.
Oh yeah, anything you can see up front in your face makes me happy.
Yes. Plus, Ray Wise kicks ass.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah.
Cool.
Well, yeah, I've got that double feature DVD, and yeah, we won't talk too much about the director.
Well, it's okay. He might be a sleazebag, but here's the deal: I can separate art from the person, or I would watch nothing.
For the most part, I can too. There's a few instances where, you know, what the person does affects the art they put out, or the music or the movie or whatever. There's some cases that affects me, but for the most part, I can do that. I can separate the movie from the person that made the movie, and what they did in their private life, and the kind of trouble they got into, and the sleaze bag they are, and but that is a prime example of separating art from the person, because
sometimes it's hard, Jay. I'll give you that, dude. Sometimes it's hard, and like you say, you'll talk about his movies and his or her work, but you don't want to give them billing. I ain't mad at you.
But no, great movie. Well, particularly, I love the first one. I really like the second one. I think I hold the first one above the second one, but I do enjoy the second one quite a bit. Um, and but yeah, but you get that moment that really kind of runs your blood cold, given the director, where you've got a bunch of dudes that are sunbathing on top of this bus, and they're all glistening. They're all covered in like what the
baby oil.
baby oil or something, and they're all shining and brown and tan and glistening. These young guys.
It got your attention, huh?
Yeah. So given the director, you're kind of like, oh God, that particular moment, I'm like, it's almost something you turn away. It's like, oh God, but no, it's a lot of fun still. The movie itself is a lot of fun, like the first one. And the creeper is so cool. And like you say, Ray Wise. So no, that's a good choice, but yeah. Okay, is it my turn now? Is it
It's your turn now.
Yeah, you keep up with it, Kathy. I
I
appreciate it.
will. Hey, I am nothing but a teacher.
Now, I saw this in the theater, and I'm trying to remember with who. I want to say again it was with Barry. Um, but anyway, Lance Henriksen, Bill Paxton, and Catherine Bigelow directed, who went on to win Best Picture. What was it like with these people that find bombs, and what was the name of that movie? But she won Best Director, I think, Best Picture in the 2000s, But way back in the 80s, she made Near Dark, and one of the greatest vampire movies. Bill Paxton's a motherfucker in this movie.
I love Bill Paxton.
Yeah, Bill Paxton, but yeah, man, he's rough in this one. And Near Dark.
Near Dark.
You don't have the fangs. They don't have the fangs, but they burn up in the sunlight, so they have to be careful of that. Some really cool effects for that, given that fact that they have to stay out of the sunlight. They drive and they've got the windows all covered up with plastic and and paper and stuff, and just enough so they can see through it, because they'll burn up the sunlight when they're driving. There's a scene in a bar that's really gruesome and really cool, where they come into this bar and they lay waste. But vampire film, but just one of the best vampire films is Near Dark, and unusual, because it sort of gets into an action movie mode at some point, and some really cool effects, but yeah, and like I say, just very well directed by Catherine Bigelow and Bill Paxton. Like I say, he's a son of a bitch in that one, the vampire. But man, but yeah, Near Dark. Yeah, if you haven't seen that, seek that one out.
Yeah, I wrote it down by Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Which
That's a more recent one. Knock at the Cabin.
I haven't seen that either.
So, is you, Kathy, next?
Yeah, it's me now. Honorable mention. I'm going to say George Clooney, Juliette Lewis from Dusk to Dawn.
Ooh, hell
I
yeah.
love that movie, dude. And Selma Hayek with that snake. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't even walk in the building with that snake.
Tom Savini with that crotch gun.
Yes.
Sex machine, hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And oh my God, when they get in, when they say, okay, well, listen, we're just going to stop here, where they weren't. That wasn't their destination, I don't think.
Right, Jordan, and it's George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, the director.
Oh yeah. But I love that movie, and to me, it should be up my first 5. Because I do visit it fairly often.
Yeah. Another
It's my
vampire movie.
Yeah, and I love good vampire movies. Now, I love the when they all went to fighting in the bar. That is some or club. That is some bizarre looking. I mean, weird looking zombies. But hey, it's good. It's just one I go back to.
Well, yeah, and that's a good choice, and that's one that I turn to frequently. You know, uh, and the titty twister bar, uh, and
Yeah.
the and like I say, great effects. It gets into some CGI, but there's still some really good effects and it's some good practical stuff too, though, along with the CGI. And like I say, Selma Hayek and her with the snake and that
That
dance.
was her. That was her first movie.
That it was it. I didn't know
Yeah,
it was the first
she
movie.
said that was her first movie. That was her acting debut. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, she
uh,
did a good job dancing with that snake.
yeah. You know, Quentin Tarantino plays a good
Oh,
maniac.
Richie, will you eat my pussy? Sorry.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
he's creepy, y'all. I can't watch Tarantino in anything without thinking you are a creepy, slimy looking son of a bitch.
Well, no, he's really effectively creepy.
I know it. I know. Just in general, to me, he don't have to say a word.
The juxtaposition between him and George Clooney, who's like the more level-headed. They're both bad guys, but he's the more level-headed, more
Yeah.
you know,
Sorry, he's a pretty boy,
yeah.
George. Yeah.
And but no, that's definitely a good choice and a lot of fun. Uh, and
Oh yeah. How can you not like From Dusk to Dawn? I mean,
Cheech Marin,
Apple pie pussy, spicy pussy, whatever. Yeah, sorry.
well, no, that looks some great moments, really funny moments. And yeah, like I say, Cheech is fun in it. Cheech Marin, and Robert Rodriguez, who direct, I brought him up.
I thought it was Robert that did that. Yeah.
Directed the faculty, directed it. So yeah, a lot of fun. But yeah, good choice, Kelly. Whose turn is it?
It's
Mine.
Jake's turn. We help you, Jay.
Okay, this is 86 or 87, and I should know the director, but The Stepfather. God, I love this movie.
Oh man, yeah, Terry O'Quinn.
Yes, God, he's so perfect, and even part two.
Yeah.
And Joe Celine, how she's awesome. In this just great character, and but I don't know, just and Shelley Hack as the mom, just great. And
Oh yeah, I love her.
And I want to hang out with Jerry Blake, before he goes psycho. I like him in this,
Have a beer with you, dude, but you're about to go cray, so.
And I saw it was just recently. I saw Terry O'Quinn in something. He's still acting. He's still doing stuff. And what did I see him in? But it was pretty recent. He was doing something. So yeah, he's still active, Terry O'Quinn. But yeah, a great performance by him, and the way he, sort of broods, and you see this internal dialogue he's having, where things aren't going the way that he wants them to go in the
I
family.
haven't seen it. It's on my list.
Oh yeah, you got to see the Stepfather.
Stepfather.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I'm behind.
but avoid the remake now.
Yes.
There's a yeah.
Okay, what's about the time of this one come out?
It's 80s, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Okay,
86, 87 or so.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. I'll look for the one in the 80s then. Yeah. Oh, it's your turn, Jay.
But it's like it's Terry O'Quinn. But yeah, that's a great one.
I have seen it come across when I'm on Tubi, Jake. So maybe I can watch it there.
Oh yeah.
Well, here's one that I'll watch. I'll probably watch this one about close to once a year, if not once every other year. But yeah, and this is one that I remember my friend Mark had told me about it. It was back in the VHS days, back when we had W&W Family Rental here in Mahale, where you go and rent movies. He said, "Oh man, you got to see this." and told me about this movie. And this basically it's a black comedy. It's basically a comedy, but very black comedy. But just a hell of a lot of fun. And this is one that actually I turned daddy on. My daddy, who's J.C. Real. He was born in 1923. So, so when he watched this movie, I know he was in his 60s. Probably he's in his 60s. But he loved it. And this is what I'd watched 2 or 3 times with him, and that was Motel Hell.
I watched that recently again.
Yeah, we watched it recently. I watched it recently. Yeah. Motel Hell. And just, it's a comedy basically, but very black, a very black comedy about, it's an old brother and sister that run this motel. And, it takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent fritters.
Yeah.
And the critters it takes to make Farmer Vincent fritters are people. And what they do is they'll kidnap someone or find someone, and they will bury them up to their neck in this field, and they'll slit their throat so they can't scream. So, they're gargling. They slit their throat and bury them up to their neck because that makes the meat tender. You see, that's how you tenderize the meat. You bury people up to their necks until a certain time. When the time is just right, then you throw a rope around their neck and tie it to a tractor and pull them out and chop them up and grind them into meat. And Farmer Vincent was famous for his ground meat, his steaks, and his fritters, Farmer Vincent fritters.
His sausage. Yeah, and they had a sign down at the road, and he had a big billboard sign outside the little village town, and it said, "Please be sure and visit here. It's the best sausage you're going to get."
And the way the title came about is it's a motel, and it's Motel Hello, but the O is blinking out. So you got Motel Hell, So, but the O is just about to go, in the neon sign, So, but yeah, and that's something like say, Daddy loved Motel Hell. He thought that was a lot of fun. He loved that movie. So yeah.
If I may interject something real quick.
Please.
Rory Calhoun was amazing in that movie, and so was Edna. I forget her name, but from Porky's,
The sister.
Yeah.
Oh God, what is that girl's name? Yeah, I love her. Like I say, in Porky's, Nancy Parsons.
Yes,
Nancy Parsons. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And Rory Calhoun. What else was Rory Calhoun in? Was he
a bunch of stuff, Jay? Now he's got a lot of credits behind him.
He was an old time actor, so he did. But I'm trying to think other stuff that he was in. But
probably in the 60s and 70s, we would see his name on a lot of stuff,
But yeah, Nancy Parsons. Yeah, she's a lot of fun in that. And like and Porky's is Miss Ballbricker in Porky's. But yeah. Oh no. But yeah. Motel Hell, and so much fun. And like I say, it's a lot of that movie is a popcorn movie. It's a lot of fun. It's funny. It's
give me some Hershey bars and popcorn and soda.
Okay.
I like candy with my popcorn. I want salty and sweet together.
Oh yeah.
It's my turn.
Well, let me interject here real quick.
Okay.
Now I see 6 people. So if anyone's here, please chime in here and chat. And if anybody who ever wants to join us, just in chat, let me know, and I'll put the link where you can join us on here if you want to talk with us and join in the conversation and name some horror films, favorite horror films, and join in on the fun. But
in chat,
and name, you've got some that you're here and you're in the chat. Name some favorite horror films. And
there we go.
Yeah. join in on the conversation. But okay, Kathy.
I got one that I don't know that anybody hasn't seen it, and I'm like you, Jake. I like some of the earlier stuff, but I'm still learning about some of the earlier stuff. I've seen everything Stephen King put out, except I couldn't hang with Pet Cemetery. Watch it for a little while and had to stop because I had a little kid about that time. I said, oh no, can't do it. You know, and I'm old grandma now, got grandkids. Nope, can't do it. But this one came out in 1990. Staged in rural California. Jeff Daniels, John Goodman, Julia Sands. I'm sorry, I had to go there. Harley Jane Kozak. I had to go there.
Well, did you have that on your list there, Jake?
Arachnophobia. No, he knew what I was still saying.
I have not. Now that I saw that in the theater, but it's been a long time since I have seen that. But yeah. Go ahead.
Well, after a nature photographer, Mark Taylor, dies on assignment in Venezuela, a poisonous spider hitches a ride in his coffin to his hometown in rural California, where arachnophobe Dr. Ross Jennings, Jeff Daniels, moved in with his wife, Molly, and their young son. As town residents start turning up dead, Jennings begins to suspect spiders and must face his fears. Mine's snakes, Jake. But anyway, he's got to face his fears as he and no-nonsense exterminator Delbert McClintock, John Goodman. I loved him in this. I loved him as exterminator.
Oh, I mean, I love John Goodman in anything because I named my favorite comedy is Raising Arizona, but just anything with John Goodman, I love.
You know, and so together they fight to stop this deadly infestation. I had to pay $3.99, but I watched it again on Prime the other night. I had to watch it again. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yep, I pay $4. Here you go. It's cheaper than what Blockbuster used to be. So
well, it got Jake going when you brought it up. So what do you have to say about it, Jake?
The movies are so creepy. It's God, the popcorn and just everything. It's played for laughs, but it's creepy as hell, man. And John Goodman was perfect as
Yeah.
He was hilarious, wasn't he? He's here, I'll take care of it. And he goes, whoa, there's a lot of them. I think, yeah, there's a lot of them. Come on. But it was funny. Well, I'll go get something else. You know, he kept coming back with stuff to try to kill him. You know, and then they go into the barn. Remember the barn? Yeah. That's where Big Mama was. She said, I gotta make some beds up in here. That was she was humongous. Oh. But I love that movie. Yeah. Let's see. IBM, is it IBDB, J?
IMDb.
Yeah, it's 6.5 out of 10 in their scale. But I like it. I think I was glad it got a fairly decent rating with them because they don't give out ratings willy nilly. But anyway, okay, Jake.
Okay. Oh, the 1978 Joe Dante classic, Piranha.
Oh man, there's something I can say about that. But go ahead. But I've got something to say about that.
I love this movie. Obviously, it was inspired by Jaws, but I think it's just as good as Jaws. It's different. It's cheesy. It's fun and great performances. It's just such a fun movie. And Joe Dante is awesome director. So,
and was it his first film?
I think it was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Joe Dante, Gremlins, of course. Was it? What was it? What else did he do? He did a bunch of stuff, but I mean,
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2, yeah. And what was it called? Small Soldiers? Is that
yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny. I liked it. I like Small Soldiers.
But what I'll say about Piranha is a majority of the film was filmed at a lake park called Aquarena Springs, and that was. What was that, Kathy? East Texas?
No. It's right down the road from where I live.
Like you're going towards San Antonio.
It was in San Marcos.
San Marcos, there you go. Yeah, near San Antonio. And I've been to it a couple of times. I think they closed it to the public, a few years ago. But it used to be a popular place to go because it was like natural springs.
Cold water.
Go and
Yeah.
it had like one of them things that that you sat and it took you up and you could fly over the park. What did you call those damn things that you ride, Kathy?
Oh yeah, the skylines.
Skyline.
Yeah.
And
Like enclosed bucket you get in it, right?
you go and you see like pelicans and things like that. But the main attraction at Aquafina Springs there was two of them. There was a glass bottom boat that you got on, and that's what it was. The bottom of it was glass where you could see the fish underneath the bottom of the boat, and you could buy these little paper bags of fish food and throw them out into the water. And when you did, the fish went, and they were like a perch, I believe. They were little perch, and they would tell you. And the woman that was taking you on the tour of the glass bottom boat, you'd feed the fish, and they said, well, there was a movie filmed here called Piranha. And what they would do is they'd get actors out in the water, and they would throw that food around them, and they'd get these perch going, and they'd throw fake blood and stuff, and so it looked like people were getting attacked by the piranha, in the water. And with the perch, so, but anyway, and if you look, you actually in several shots in Piranha, you can actually see the billboard, Aquafina Springs. Now I forget what they call it in the movie, the park, because it takes place at a water park. A lot of it does. But that's where they filmed it, Aquafina Springs, and I've been there a couple of times, Aquafina Springs, and they tell you about filming Piranha there. So yeah.
One of the colleges bought it in San Antonio, and it's closed to the public, but every now and then they'll let filmmakers use it, for a fee. Of course, they got to make their money.
Yeah.
But what did you think about it, Jake?
The other attraction was you got it. They had this thing. This
submarine, Jake.
You got in. You sat down, and it's submerged underwater, and you had a glass front, and you had these girls, real pretty girls, that were mermaids, and they put on a mermaid show, and they had little tubes that they breathe oxygen, and they put in a little show. But the star attraction was the swimming pig, and that was at the end of the show. They would have a pig, and it swam underwater, and it would swim across, and then they had the swimming pig. Aquafina Springs. But anyway, that's where a great deal of Piranha was filmed. So,
what did you like about it, Jake?
The performances and the characters. Like Kevin McCarthy, his character was kind of crazy, but he was really good in it. And the main guy, I forget his name, but he was just a cool character. I would hang out with some of those characters,
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's kind of campy. It's a lot of fun. It's a drive-in movie. I call a drive-in movie, and that's something that Joe Dante started out as a fan of those kind of movies. Because let me get that book.
What that was really cool. It was glass bottom boats, and then they had like a gift shop and a snack bar.
Yeah. Well, this is the book I showed the other day. This Ad Nauseam book and Piranha's in here somewhere, but it's old newspaper advertisements for mainly there's pieces for horror films. And man, it's such a good book. It's a hardbound book called Ad Nauseam. And it was sent to me as a Christmas gift, and I got it a few days ago because I guess they were out of stock or whatever. So I finally got it. There's It's Alive. There's It's Alive. But it's so cool. But it's a big hardbound book. But anyway, Joe Dante writes the foreword to this book, this Ad Nauseam book. He writes the intro to it. Um, and he was a huge fan of drive-in movies and stuff like that. He grew up with those movies, and kind of, I guess, kind of got him started as a filmmaker because that's the kind of movies he wanted to make, the sort of drive-in movies, the old fun, monster movies or whatever. And of course, he made Piranha. So, and it's an example of a just really fun drive-in movie. It's,
Mhm.
you take sort of inspiration from Jaws, but it's much more campy, much more fun, much more, and has some really good effects in it. There's even some stop motion in it that I think is really cool. This creature, So, but yeah, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, good choice there. Anything else you got to say about Piranha?
Check it out if you haven't. Yeah.
Definitely check it out. Yeah, definitely check it out if you
It's
have.
just fun. That's why I liked it from beginning to
It's
end.
fun. Yeah, that one is a prime example of a fun movie. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a popcorn movie, and what I call a drive-in movie. Yeah, Piranha. Well, okay, is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, well, this one, when this came out, this was one of the first movies to really use the internet in its marketing. And this was when the internet was still pretty new, kind of young, early 2000s, I believe. And hang on, we got a couple of chime ins here. S'mores Indoors, that's a new one. Says great show. And we got Wes in here. Hope y'all are having a good show. I'll have to catch the replay.
Hey, Wes.
Hey, Wes. Thank you, Wes. Twisted X says, hey, Jane, Kathy, and
Hi.
Alpahar. Yeah. So.
Hi. Thanks for popping in.
Yeah. Thank you for popping in. S'mores indoors. I love the sound of that.
Isn't that cool?
Do you make s'mores indoors? I saw a guy that does freaking, what's it called? Freaking reviews or something like that. Anyway, he reviewed this indoor s'mores maker. And so when I see s'mores,
I love that. There's one I follow that's bald, and he does some really cool reviews.
Yeah, well, that's freaking reviews. I think that's the freaking. Yeah. He's really good, and I really like his stuff. But I think that's who I'm talking. I think that's who I'm talking about. Is freaking reviews. But yeah, Twisted X, West, s'mores indoors. Now I'm hungry for s'mores.
I know. Now I'm hungry. Come on. What's better than s'mores?
Yeah.
Not much.
And once again, like I say, if anybody wants to join us in the chat, let me know, and I'll put the link here where you can join us live here and talk about what we're talking about. But anyway, yeah, this movie was the first example that I know of to really use the internet for its marketing. And for the longest time, people thought this was almost a real documentary, that this was really happening. And but anyway, Blair Witch Project. Yeah. And I still think this movie holds up. I still think it's effective. I saw it in the theater. By the time I saw it in the theater, I knew it wasn't real. I knew these were just actors. But I still thought it was really effective, and I still do. I still think it's still very well made. This found footage kind of movie, where this, these footage that was discovered of these, the people investigating this legend of this Blair Witch, and going and interviewing people and stuff, and then getting into the woods and getting caught in the woods and, seeing these mysterious things on the trees, these stick figures in the trees and things like that, and hearing noises and sounds. I still think it's really creepy, and I still think it's really effective, Blair Witch Project. But like I say, this was the movie at the time really used the internet in its marketing, and to make it look like something that was real, something that was really happening, showing these pictures, that were found and in the woods and stuff, and of course it's all manufactured, it's all fake, but it was presented as if this was something that was really happening, and a very genius way to market a movie. And this movie that was made for peanuts made millions and millions of dollars, became a big hit. And a lot of it is due to that marketing, that very ingenious marketing. And let's see. Blair Witch. Now, Twisted X asked me, what did I think of Blair Witch 2? And I don't remember Blair Witch 2. I think I saw it, but I don't remember a thing about it. That movie was, if I'm not mistaken, the Blair Witch Project movie is it's something that exists.
Tomorrow,
and
you'll see rainy weather.
and these are and
64
Jay's weather chick.
Alexa telling me it must be 6:30. Alexa's telling me the weather.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it's like fans of the Blair Witch Project that are like investigating where this supposedly took place or something like that.
Yes.
I don't know. Is that right, Jake?
Correct, Jay.
Yeah. But what do you think of Blair Witch 2? Now that Twisted X asks about that, because I barely remember it. So
Part 2, personally, I think it's fun. It's not as good as the first one, but it feels more like a movie instead of found footage. I guess that's because it is. But yeah, it's good.
Well, that's something I need to check out then. Like
Yeah,
I said,
I might watch it because I didn't really care much for the first one.
well, that's saying that there's a lot of people I think don't. I think, I have talked to people that say, nah, it doesn't do it for me anymore, Blair Witch Project, and I think when people found out that this was fake, that this wasn't real, this wasn't actual found footage, that upset some people, But I still think it works. I still think it's effective. And, and it's something that I turn to, watch it maybe once a year or something. I watched the Blair Witch Project, and I think it still holds up. Oh, yeah. Me personally, I do.
Yeah, once was enough for me, but I will definitely give Blair Witch 2 a look. I mean, I would like to check it out. I didn't care for it when it first came out, but then again, I thought it just kind of dragged, and I'm thinking, I thought it was found documentation, whatever you call it, documentary, and I kept thinking, is somebody gonna get killed in this? Come on now. Come on. See, I'm a huge fan, Jake, of slasher movies, big time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Give me Final Destination any day. I like all of them, and they're making them.
I really enjoy it. And talk about popcorn movies, the Final Destination movies, yeah. And I like all of those. I think the best one is the one with the log truck. I think that's the best.
Part 2, yes.
Yeah, part 2 is I think is the best, but I think they're all good and all really enjoyable. But
yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Is it my turn, or are you done, Jay?
Well, yeah. If you're keeping up with could I keep forgetting? But yeah, okay.
I do too, Jake. Do you remember? I think it's my turn.
Yes, Kathy.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I'm going to premise this, and then I'll walk into it, and once I say it, everybody's going to know it. IMDb said, it's ridiculous fun with hokey CGI and animatronics. The animatronics are great and make me miss the 90s. Anaconda.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Jennifer Lopez. It's got everybody in it, y'all. Eric Stoltz. It's got Ice Cube, John Boy, Owen Wilson. And basically Jennifer Lopez.
Say that again, Jake. What do you got there? What was that?
Oh, man. Huge fan of Ice-T, man. Ice Cube. Mixed up. The names mixed up and not the faces. Anyway, basically the premise of this is Jennifer Lopez, her character is, she's a filmmaker that wants to go on this cruise down this Amazon River and find this forgotten tribe. Okay, that's the whole beginning premise of the movie. Okay, and she enlists Ice Cube, Eric's, Stoltz. It's a big crew that she has with her. That's gonna, 4 or 5 of them. That's gonna go help her do this. Okay, well, they get going down the river and searching for this forgotten tribe, and she's, wants to film them and see if they can approach them and talk to them, whatever. And they see John Voight, who is stranded on a riverbank. So, they're not going to leave the man out there stranded on the riverbank. And they go, "Oh, hi, Super Batman nerd. Hey, buddy." Anyway, they go and they rescue John Voight. Now, what's he doing out there? He's in search of a giant anaconda that is worth big dollars, right? He wants to capture this thing and take it back and sell it. Well, the crew finds out a little too late why he's there, and this anaconda starts attacking the boat and knocking people in the water, and it just the chaos ensues, they say. But anyway, I like it. Every now and then, I don't mind a big old snake. I don't like little ones. Okay.
Probably my favorite moment in Anaconda is when John Voight is regurgitated by the anaconda.
Well, he found it.
He's eaten and then he's spat out. He's regurgitated by this anaconda, and he's John Voight. Good at a lot of stuff I love John Voight in, but yeah, Anaconda. Yeah, that's a good choice, and that's a lot of fun. Another popcorn movie.
Yeah. I like it. Like I said, I like to watch it now. Okay, I'll give it a yearly watch. It's not like I go to it every other week or nothing. But Super Batman nerd. I haven't seen that Blair Witch 2, but I'm gonna watch it. And I didn't care for the first one, but I'm gonna watch that.
He also says Jonathan Hyde from Titanic and Jumanji is also in Anaconda.
Oh, cool.
He plays Westerns. Love his character.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now.
Never look in the eyes of those you kill. They will haunt you forever. I know. Sorry.
I love it. Yeah, But anyway, Jay doesn't have a scoring system, but I'm going to give Anaconda a 4 film reels because I like it.
Ooh.
That's probably what I would give it. I'd probably give it a 4. Like I say, that's once again what I call a popcorn movie. It's a lot of fun and has some really good moments, some good effects. And like I say, John Voight getting spat out by that anaconda. I don't know why, but I'll just always love that shot. But hang on. Let's see, Super Batman. And he says, Super Batman nerd says, Anaconda's just like Jaws. The first one is amazing. The sequels are all right. Yeah. I don't know if I've seen that. I think I saw Anaconda 2, I think.
The first one's amazing. The sequels are dog shit.
Well, okay.
That's what he said. And you know what? Batman, I don't blame you. I try to not watch very many sequels, but every now and then they'll remake one that's pretty dang good.
Yeah. Well, is it my turn?
My turn, sir.
It's Jake's turn.
Ooh, this one. 2007. I got. And I know his name, but I just can't think of it. But Slither from. The name escapes me, but yeah, this movie is just so fun. It's what you call, Jay, a popcorn movie.
Popcorn movie, yeah. That's a great popcorn movie, Slither.
Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion, just great cast, and it's funny, and there's a lot of sci-fi references, like McCready and stuff like this. Yeah.
Well, James Gunn directed, and he's let's see. But go ahead, Jake. But yeah, I'm just
it's just so fun, and Michael Rooker plays a great alien human hybrid monster bad guy. He's just perfect.
Yeah. Well, and like I say, James Gunn directed, and he started in the Troma films, and he kind of brought that mentality to Slither, but with a budget, with some money to spend, but yeah, great popcorn movie, a whole lot of fun, some great gruesome effects, some very talk about Slither. The movie is very slithery, very gruesome, wet, gooey, slimy, but some great effects in Slither, and yeah, a whole lot of fun. But yeah. And let's see, I'm trying to think. Let's see, Nathan Fillion, Elizabeth Banks, Michael Rooker, like Jake said, Michael Rooker, and like I say, James Gunn's first movie. But yeah, a whole lot of fun, Slither.
Elizabeth Banks and everything she's done. She's just good.
Oh, she is.
But Twisted X says Slither and Feast are always fun to me.
Great choice, Twisted X.
Yeah, I interviewed Jason Mewes at Texas.
I was there.
Yeah, Kathy was there. She was behind the camera. And I interviewed if you look at go to YouTube and just search Jason Mewes and my name or Dead Pit. And I interviewed him, and I had some bird shit or something in my hair. And
no, it was Chester Grimm paint. You had just done
Chester, but I'd taken a bath or something. But he goes, hey, look at this in my man's hair. It looks like that come from, he calls it What About Mary, from What About Mary. It isn't my cum, man. But anyway, and of course he's in Feast, Jason Mewes.
He was real nice. Nice man.
He doesn't last long. He gets killed pretty early, I think, in Feast, don't he? But yeah, go look at that interview I did with Jason Mewes. It's pretty funny. And let's see, Batman. There's the scene where the one woman that bursts and gives birth to the slugs. Yeah, in Slither. Yeah, it's very grimy and very wet.
I'm so hungry. You fuckers are tearing me apart. Love it.
Yeah, but no, a great choice, Slither, and that's one I need to rewatch here pretty soon because it's been a while since I've seen Slither. But yeah, that's a whole lot of fun. But yeah, James Gunn, but yeah. Okay, is it my turn?
Yep, your turn.
Okay. Now, I love, of course, all the zombie movies that George Romero did. I actually, these days, I watch Day of the Dead more than any of the others. I love Dawn of the Dead, of course, Night of the Living Dead, but I've been watching Day of the Dead. Of the zombie movies, that's what I've been watching more frequently lately. And speaking of interviews, I did one with Joe Pilato. You can find that interview I did. You search, well, no, I didn't do that. Ray did. Ray did the interview with Joe Pilato. I did the camera, but yeah. But anyway, but I think his best directed movie, and I think his most original movie is Martin. Martin.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't know. I just it's a man that, is he a vampire, or is it, he thinks he's a vampire, but the way he extracts blood from girls is with a straight razor. He gets a razor blade and cuts their throat and then drinks their blood.
Dahmer.
So he doesn't have fangs, but he believes he's a vampire. And it's John Amplas. And I met him at Texas Frightmare. Real nice guy. One of the friendliest guys to meet at a convention is John Amplas. He's so cool and so nice. But John Amplas, a great performance by him. And like I say, I just think it's one of Romero's, if not the most creative and original films. That of course what they did, he invented the zombie genre, with Night of the Living Dead and then Dawn of the Dead and then Day of the Dead. But I think Martin is the height of his creativity and independent filmmaking, and just where he really shines as a director in that one. And John Amplas is great in that movie, and just really well done, well put together. And it, I don't have a 4K player, but that's one that recently came out on 4K. And I've heard, the Dead Pit guys talking about it and such. But yeah, that's one that, if you haven't seen it, see it. I see it as more of a psychological film, psychological horror.
I hadn't seen it. I had to watch it.
Yeah, same here.
But Martin. Yeah,
Martin.
yeah, watch it, and George Romero as a director. But yeah, it's like, well, is he or isn't he? Is he a vampire? Or is he just crazy? And it's a good question. But I think just as going into someone's mind and their personality, the way that it explores someone's mind is really well done. And I think it stands out as one of his most original movies, Martin. So, okay.
Sounds like me. He's a wannabe vampire, but he's a little psychotic. Okay. Here's one of my picks. In fact, I mentioned this a while back, and somebody goes, "Yeah, that's a good one." I would like to see that too. The most frightening thing about Jacob Singer's nightmare is that he isn't dreaming. Jacob's Ladder.
And that I almost had that on my list.
It came out 1990. It's a horror, of course. After returning home from the Vietnam War,
Tim Robbins now. Tim Robbins.
Stop it. Jacob Singer, Tim Robbins, struggles to maintain his sanity. Plagued by hallucinations and flashbacks, Singer rapidly falls apart as the world and people around him morph and twist into disturbing images. His girlfriend, Jessie Elizabeth Pena, and his ex-wife, Sarah Patricia Kalenberg, try to help, but to no avail. Even Singer's chiropractic friend, Danny Aiello,
I think.
thank you, fails to reach him as he descends into madness. I like it. I really like it. It's so friggin' bizarre that it holds my attention from beginning to end. And I gotta watch it every now.
Well, yeah, me too. And the editing in that movie and just the imagery is just really creepy and really unsettling. And you get these people that are shaking, and you get these really creepy images. A lot of that movie is like the images that you see, the way things are filmed and the way that the movie is edited, along with Tim Robbins' performance, which is, he's so good in so many things.
Well, looks like
of course. But
they might have redone it, but I'm not going to watch the other one.
But no, that's a great one. And that's definitely a movie that you don't want to spoil the ending, because the ending is like, oh God, when you get to the ending, it goes, oh God, it's like, but yeah.
The American Society of Cinematographers say that it's personal hell. The scientific iconography of Jacob's Ladder, that they say it is a personal hell. And that to me sums it up pretty good.
That's a good description. It's a personal hell. Yeah, it's like basically almost literal hell. Someone's literal version of hell.
Yeah.
Jacob's Ladder. So it's like, you seeing what someone is if they're experiencing something really traumatic and something really bizarre and frightening. The way
Well,
it's
yeah.
portrayed on screen in Jacob's Ladder is really, really effective.
And he's just back mourning his dead child. And he's haunted by all this other stuff going on. And he attempts to uncover his past, but he's suffering a severe case of disassociation. Duh.
And Batman Nerd says Macaulay Culkin is uncredited, but he's got a part in
Oh, yeah.
And let's see. That's what Batman says.
Oh, my Lord. Poor guy.
That's his Jacob's Ladder. There's Mickey D.
That's hilarious. I don't know, man. Some of that food I really like, so I can't bash them a whole lot. Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Love me some Mickey D's.
Okay, is it my turn?
Yeah.
My turn.
It's yeah, I'm sorry. It's Jake's turn.
Okay.
The 1982 Tommy Lee Wallace classic, based on my shirt, Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. And
Oh man,
I like it. Yes.
Season of the Witch.
Oh,
Silver Shamrock.
Tom Atkins, the Silver Fox. Oh my God, Stacey Noken, Dan O'Herlihy, and Ralph Straight. Yeah, just such a good movie. And so I think it's still a little underrated, even though people have come around. It's just it's classic, And
I think as the years have gone by, that's become more and more. People feel that that's a classic. That Halloween 3 is a classic.
oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gotten better received, I think, over the years that people are discovering Halloween 3 and how great Halloween 3 is. Once again, if you search me on the YouTube, on the Dead Pit YouTube channel, you can see my interview with Tom Atkins. And I've heard some folks say they had some bad run-ins with him at conventions, but he was really nice to me. So
Same here.
Sir?
Oh, so same here. He was nice to me too.
Yeah, he was really cool to me. But yeah, I love Halloween 3. I've often spoken about I love the original Halloween, but seeing Michael Myers returning and continuing to return is something I never was interested in. So I always avoided those sequels until just recently when I finally watched them. I enjoyed them on different levels, but I still kind of feel like, they should have just left Michael Myers alone. That original ending I thought was great, where you don't know where he went, don't know what happened to him. But Halloween 3, the original idea was they were going to make different stories with the Halloween brand. But it wasn't going to be Michael Myers. It was going to be an original story, original movie. And they tried that with Halloween 3, and it bombed at the box office, and people were pissed off that Michael Myers wasn't returning. So, so they brought him back. But Halloween 3, it's got such an original premise. It's such a creative film, I think. And that music, that
Oh yeah, I get out that music. Yeah,
that music, 2 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock. And that really just rings in your head that commercial song, for Silver Shamrock.
I
and
like
did you see Dan O'Herlihy?
Yeah.
Great performance by him as this madman that's on Halloween Day, he's going to kill a bunch of kids. And how's he going to do it? Well, he's selling these Silver Shamrock masks, and every kid wants one of these masks, one of these Silver Shamrock masks. and it's a pumpkin, it's a witch, and a skull, I think. And you got to get you a silver shamrock mask. Well, and the the on the mask there is a a symbol for silver shamrock. There's a little little thing, and implanted in the this little tag that's on the mask is a little tiny little piece of Stonehenge. It's Stonehenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's got magical powers, Stonehenge. And so they put a little piece of that Stonehenge rock in each mask. And when you watch the commercial for Silver Shamrock and hear that song playing, it sets off a reaction in the Stonehenge rock that's in this mask, and it goes into your brain, and snakes come out of your eyes and bugs come out of your mouth and all that, and it kills you in this very gruesome way. And that scene where they've got this family that they've invited, the Silver Shamrock have invited this family to come and sit and watch the commercial. And this little boy is wearing I think it's a pumpkin, wearing the Silver Shamrock mask and watching the commercial. He holds his head, and then he falls down, and you see snakes starting to come out of the mask and bugs and stuff. Great scene, but yeah, great movie. Just really effective and very original. And Tom Atkins, of course, he's
Oh yeah.
gotta love Tom Atkins.
I like your shirt a lot, dude.
Thank you.
Where did you get the shirt?
Frightrags.com.
Okay, Fright Rags. Okay. And Batman says, we don't hate on it anymore. That's how we
Gave it a chance. Don't ever forget. I want to do a plug, Jay.
okay.
Don't ever-
Well,
okay,
are you next, Kathy?
No, you are, but I'm gonna take a minute of your time.
Okay, go ahead.
Always, if you were looking for horror shirts that have low shipping, check out fastcustomshirts.com.
T-shirt.
T-shirts, yeah. Joe Garcia. Does he? I think he does tanks and stuff too, right, Jay?
I think so. Yeah, I think he.
Yeah. But anyway, he's really reasonable. He does excellent work. I just received an Eclipse one from him, one that says something kind of shady about real women that fish, and I love them. They wear well. So anyway, and he's a friend of mine, Jay. So through the years, he didn't have a booth in 2009 when I went and worked Texas Frightener weekend with Jay, and Jay had a table, and I was helping him with that, and we sold shirts, and I sold out pretty fast for him, and so we pretty much began fast friends since then. And but anyway, he does some beautiful work, man. I brought back my son-in-law Critters T-shirt from that convention, and I think he wore that sucker till it fell apart. I swear he did. I want one now. It was nice looking,
Well, I thought maybe I had it back here where I could find it, but I can't find it. But he did the Dawn shirt.
Yeah, for your movie.
That's one of my favorite designs of just anything he's done. Of course, I'm prejudiced, but yeah, he did my movie Dawn, did the shirt for that, and it's so good. But yeah, definitely, yeah, you want to check Joe's stuff out, and like I say, fastcustomshirts.com.
Yeah. Okay, Jay, your turn.
Okay, well, on varying degrees, like all three of these movies, have fun with them, and I'll just bring off as kind of like a honorable mention, Larry Cohen's The Stuff, which is a whole lot of fun, great popcorn movie. Larry Cohen's The Stuff, but this by far, and I think I was like in the 5th grade and I think this movie was filmed in like 74, but then they had I think Larry Cohen had talked to the distributors and stuff. He said, give this another try, because it didn't do very well in 74, but let me see if we can market this better. and brought it back, and it was a 75 or 76 that they brought it back. And one of the creepiest commercials ever for a horror film. Oh God, to this day it chills my blood. Is you see this baby carriage rotating, and you hear this voice, real kind voice, a man saying, "The Davises are about to have a baby. Most parents are a little scared when they have their first baby. The Davises are terrified because you see, there's only one thing wrong with the Davis baby. It's alive." And you got, let's see, we got the original. I've got it. You got it's a reversible cover here for the Blu-ray, but you got the original cover with this baby carriage and this clawed hand hanging off the side of this baby carriage. And it's about this family that the mother gives birth to a mutant baby, a killer baby, and it's really well done. I think it's well filmed, well done. Larry Cohen, like I say, the stuff. Cue the Winged Serpent with Michael Moriarty. I love him in that. But yeah, it's alive, and he made 3 of them. It's Alive 2, or It Lives Again, and Island of the Alive. Island of the Alive, yeah. And this is the trilogy, It's Alive trilogy Blu-ray set that I got. Yeah.
That's cool.
But by far one of the creepiest trailers ever. Look that up on YouTube with that rotating bassinet,
And the claw over the side.
Yeah, clawed hand off the side. Yeah, there's only one thing wrong with the Davis baby. It's alive. And he says at the end, "Don't say it alone, please." But yeah, it's alive. And that's one I return to frequently. I may watch it tonight, hell.
There you go. Made you think.
Yeah, I love that. So is it you next, Kathy?
Yeah, it's me. Okay, now listen, y'all. I like a lot of thrillers. So Jay's been kind enough to kind of let me slide some in here in the horror genre sometime. And this one is it's a classic thriller, basically, but there's some really creepy stuff in it where I would kind of slide it into a little horror, and it is Secret Window. Came out in 2004. It's a thriller, and it's Johnny Depp, Maria Bello, and John Turturro.
Oh, I love John Turturro. Yeah.
Thank you kindly. I do too. He is the most creepiest thing. Okay, so while in the process of an ugly divorce from his wife, Maria Bello, writer Mort Rainey Depp relocates to his remote cabin in upstate New York for solitude. Attempting to recover his mental health, Rainey has a misfortune of being found by John Turturro, okay, a farmer who claims Rainey plagiarized his work. At first, Rainey Depp ignores the accusation, but Shooter has no intention of quietly disappearing. Soon, Shooter becomes increasingly vicious in his quest for retribution. I mean, it's freaky, y'all. It's really scary. The way, because you don't know where this guy's going to come from, this farmer, where he's going to pop up, where he's going to pop up at. But it's really good. So
I've seen it. It's been a while since I've seen it. It's based on a Stephen King short story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a Stephen King story. And it's one of his short stories. And I forget what collection it's from. I've got it. I'm reading it now. 4 Past Midnight, I believe. It's the collection. Because I'm reading the Langoliers right now. Short story.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the short story is called like Secret Window, Secret Garden or something like that.
Secret Window.
But the movie's called Secret Window. But yeah. It's a Stephen King short story. and yeah, I enjoyed it. I saw it. It's been a while since I've seen it, so it's something I need to see again. Here pretty soon. Uh, but
Yeah,
but
but
yeah,
it's creepy. It
yeah.
makes you want to go make sure all your windows are locked and stuff.
Okay. Well, we'll continue. We're at the 2 hour mark, but why not? We're having a good.
Are you okay, Jake? I'm okay. Jay, y'all okay? Well, let's
I'm
just hang
good.
out a little while.
I'm
Okay,
good.
Jake.
Oh, okay. My next one is the 1980-81 Tobey Hooper classic, The Funhouse.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I watched that about a month ago.
Oh, nice.
The Funhouse, yeah.
Pay to get in, pray to get out. It's just such a classic, and the monster Gunther is creepy as hell, and just some good kills and great atmosphere. The Funhouse and Kevin, the Carnival Barker, he's so cool. I love his character. And yeah.
One Robert England's in that, right?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? I didn't watch The Funhouse. I watched The Funhouse Massacre.
Oh yeah,
That's
a good
why.
one too, though.
Yeah.
Funhouse Massacre. I don't think I've seen that.
Oh man, it's good.
Yeah.
It came out in 2015. I mean, I know y'all are more versed in the older stuff. I'm kind of from the 2000s up, catching up some of the recent stuff, like Megan. I like Megan.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Some people don't,
I
Jay.
like Megan, and I was given that Blu-ray for Christmas, and I like Megan. And there's an unrated cut of Megan that I enjoyed, where there's a little more, violence. Some of there's a couple of F words, couple of fucks in there.
Yeah.
But I like Megan, and that's one that I think would be. I'd enjoy seeing her return, Megan return, doing another Megan movie. I'm sure they're making a sequel. Surely they're making a sequel, to Megan.
Yeah. They're selling somewhere. I saw the Megan doll available. Looked just like her, $500.
Oh, geez.
I said, well, that's creepy. I mean, I like collectibles like the next person, but that I don't think. No. Yep.
But yeah, the fun house. And speaking of Toby Hooper,
It's on my list now.
And of course then Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but he really could do creepy in a fun way, and particularly in his earlier films, and that's a really good example of that, I think the later he got in his career, he kind of lost his edge and kind of lost that, that fun spirit he had, but that's a good example. Funhouse. It's a lot of fun and effectively creepy and such.
Your turn, Jay.
Let's see. My turn. You say. Well,
we could skip you, but I believe we're being fair.
Well, this is one that I had seen the first movie on VHS with my friend Barry, and we really enjoyed it. And we're in Waco, and we're like, I want to go see a movie. So what are we going to go see? And I'm it's back when like the Ad Nauseum book, we'd get the newspaper, and there'd be all these different advertisements for movies playing, and I saw this one. I said, oh man, let's see this. You remember this first one? And he said, oh yeah, I remember that. So let's go see this. And we sat in the front row and had no idea what we were about to get. Had no idea the comedic direction it was going to go into, where it got almost like a Three Stooges movie, at one point. And we're just screaming with laughter. It's probably the most fun I've ever had in a movie theater. And that's watching Evil Dead 2. Yeah.
Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2. And where the first one is more serious, although you still get Sam Raimi's kind of fun, camera work and stuff. But this one it's just like a roller coaster. And and Bruce Campbell's performance and the whole bit when his hand comes alive, and is smashing plates on his head and shit, and oh my God, we were just screaming. I thought we was gonna get kicked out of the theater because we were laughing so loud. We were having so much fun. And like I say, probably the most fun I had in a theater watching a movie is watching Evil Dead 2. Because had no idea what we were going to get, had no idea the tone this movie was going to take. And just everything about it. Just, yeah, Sam Raimi's direction. Of course, he's great with camera work and different, the way he sets up shots and stuff. And of course, Bruce Campbell as Ash, and just everything about it. You get Ted Raimi in there. Well, just the most fun I can remember having in a theater watching a movie, or at least one of them, is watching Evil Dead 2. And of course, anyone that's a horror fan, it's a classic, so. But yeah. So yeah. Anyone else have anything to say about Evil Dead? I'm sure Jake has something to say about Evil Dead 2.
I thought Jake was such a great character in Evil Dead 2. Danny Hicks, he was fun. I did not want to see his character die. I thought he should have lived. Damn it.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens. I hate when you get attached to them, even if they're evil and you get attached to them, because I've done that. Okay, and then they're snuffed, and you're like, no.
Exactly.
Is it okay, Jay? You got any messages we need to know about?
No, there's nothing new since the last one I posted there. So,
okay, I found something. It's pretty obscure. I was looking for obscure stuff, and I was tooling around online, and I found Last House on Dead End Street. Okay. It is a bitter ex-convict decided to repay society by making snuff films in graphic detail. Okay. And somewhere around 1982, I asked a friend, coworker, several years older, what was the scariest movie you've ever seen? He replied, House on Dead End Street. Since it is advertised, she thought, well, I'll look it up. This is a lady that did a review. Infamous, hard to digest, lowest budget exploitation horror. Is actually made with quite some cinematic intelligence, and gritty photography adds to the thoroughly malicious, disturbing atmosphere of the film. And I haven't seen it, but I found it, and I might have to watch it. This was another film this guy wrote, audience member. I tracked down a shoddy hotel Wi-Fi during a vacation trip just to keep my Halloween viewing on track for the month of October. While rather murky and not all that scary, this was amusing. This person thought it was funny.
I've heard of it. I want to say I saw it. I didn't see the movie, but I want to say I saw it like on maybe Tubi or something. I saw that.
Last House, and I believe it's black and white. It was made in 1977. Horror. And on the popcorn, it gets 46% on the popcorn ratings. I don't know. Audience score. That's what the popcorn ratings are.
House on Dead End Street. So.
I was going to let me wait real quick.
I'll tell you what. Let's all do one more each, and then we can kind of.
We'll call it a night. Okay.
We're at 7:13 my time.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've done a couple hours and been a good show. But let's
Good.
do.
I've had fun.
Let's do one more each. So Jake.
Okay. One of my favorite directors, 1980s, something in the 1980s, I should know, John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's good. I have actually seen that. There's some I haven't, but I've seen that.
Just, what can you say? It's creepy as hell. Alice Cooper is just so creepy in this, and this movie scared the hell out of me, and so yeah, I love it.
I love Alice Cooper and anything. He's made some really good stuff. Really, honestly, people wouldn't think of him. I mean, of course, in my day, Alice Cooper was a musician. That's all you thought about. I mean, That was my time in school, high school, junior high. Alice
School's out.
Cooper. Huh?
School's out.
Oh, well, yeah. But that's what we liked. I mean, that was, Alice Cooper coming out with a new album. Okay, I gotta have it. I gotta have it.
I don't know if you remember, Kathy, but at that convention, that one convention you were at, he was there. Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
was there.
I saw him. I
And
didn't.
saw him too, yeah, I didn't get his autograph, but I saw him.
No, I didn't either. But I walked by his table 2 or 3 times, and he was talking to somebody, and I just waved because I'm cheesy like that, Jake. And I just waved at him, and he looked kind of, and he had the black eye makeup on and whatnot. He looked and he waved back at me. I just kept going. I bet he thought, "Do I really know that lady?" I had on a t-shirt with skulls on it, with snakes coming out of skulls, black and white, kind of like yours, only, with the skulls and snake and pearls. So people thought, well, look at that lady. She got pearls on with her t-shirt. Yep. I had to class it up. I'm an older lady,
Right on.
Yeah. So
Well,
like,
and that's something John Carpenter at his prime could hardly do any wrong. I mean, just one after another. It was just like he just kept making one classic after another, John Carpenter, but yeah, he had one of the best runs as a director that there were, particularly for a horror director. Just like it's like, at his prime, he was the best, John Carpenter. But yeah, great choice there. So is it my turn?
Jake, I lost count. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, okay. The last one I'll name for tonight, and of course, we definitely could do another show about.
Oh yeah.
And also, I think would be good is like favorite directors.
Yeah.
And we could just do that in general, just favorite directors, period.
Yeah.
Okay, of any type. And that's something I haven't seen. I kept telling Wes that he should do this. I don't think they've done it yet. But favorite horror actors and, actresses. Favorite horror performances that, who had some of your favorite moments in a horror film, who favorite performances or favorite actors or actresses. There's lots you could come up with, just favorite performances, favorite moments in a horror film or acting performances in a horror film. But last one I'll name, and of course, American Werewolf in London is I don't know if a lot of people would think that's their best werewolf movie or the best werewolf movie, but I think pretty much always almost running even with American Werewolf in London is The Howling.
Howling. Yeah.
The Howling. And once again, Joe Dante, who made Piranha. But yeah, The Howling. And it's Rob Bottin who did the effects for The Thing, does the effects here. Once again, you want to watch it. My very first celebrity interview was with Dee Wallace, and I'm nervous as hell. And I'm meeting the mother from ET, and I'm like so nervous. She was so sweet. She was so nice to me. But yeah, but anyway, I did an interview with Dee Wallace, and that's the picture. I got her autograph, and the picture I got is her transforming into a werewolf in The Howling. And when she finally transforms into that werewolf, it's almost like a teddy bear. It's the cutest looking werewolf you've ever seen. Her werewolf in The Howling. But Rob Bottin's effects are it's different than in The Howling, than American Werewolf in London. It's got a different, style to it. But it's still, I think, really effective, very well done. And kind of like a kind of a cult of werewolves, this that they band together at this place, and they all have the werewolf cult a curse, and but anyway, yeah, I'll put it right up there with American Werewolf in London is one of the best werewolf movies, and very original, very unique, and another movie I would call almost like a drive-in movie,
Yeah.
And Joe Dante again, who made Piranha and in Gremlins, but yeah, the Howling. So, and that'll be my last one for tonight. So.
Okay, well, mine's pretty new. I mean, I don't know. Maybe not that many people have seen it. Actually, it's pretty new, really new. In other words, but it came out in 2022, horror / mystery, and it's called Watcher. And I found this, gosh, 8 months ago, and watched it. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really good. This is really creepy, really creepy. As a serial killer stalks the city, a young actress who just moved to town with her boyfriend notices a mysterious stranger watching her from across the street. Director Choi Okuno. It made $3.2 million at the box office, and Micah Monroe plays the lead character Julie. Bern Gorman, I like him. He's a watcher. And then it's got Carl Glusman and Daniel Muta, and it's got a whole list of people. And a lot of them, y'all, I had never heard of, but their faces look familiar. So I've seen them in other stuff, right? And Watcher's an unsettling drama thriller that does a great job of getting under your skin. Watcher's about disbelief, fear, and isolation. It's a chilling thriller worth seeing, and honestly, though, one of the best thriller movies I've watched. I get that. I get that it may be boring to some people, but this was the jam, and that's their review's pretty much what I would have put. I liked it. I mean, I really did. It's creepy. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them.
Well, now, is it Watcher or Watchers?
Watcher with no S.
Oh, okay.
2000.
There's a Dean Koontz.
Yeah, I've seen that. I said that was I think they did that on TV, didn't they?
Yeah.
Watchers. Yeah, I've seen that. Which
But
we
this
need.
is Watcher.
Watcher. And stop, no S. Yeah. So anyway, that's my last one for tonight. I really liked it. I really think a lot of people would like it. But I like serial killer stuff, Now I don't want to go back and watch Dahmer or nothing like that. But this is kind of a menacing, frightening, and suspenseful type of horror movie.
I watched Dahmer. I mean, and that's another one. Like you say, I don't want to revisit it, but I thought it was well done. I thought the guy that played Dahmer was really good. It was very, very effective.
Looked like him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very creepy. But
that's
I thought it was really well done, but it's like, once is enough.
Yeah. Before I hand it off to Jake, also what you might want to think about is horror-based TV shows. There's been some dang good ones out there. Remember we were talking about Night Gallery the other day and stuff like that. So think about that. Maybe we can do something like that too sometime. Okay, Jake.
Okay, my last one. This one is so fun, and I think it's a good sequel. A lot of people don't like it, whatever. James Cameron's Piranha 2.
Oh,
Also, that's my man, Lance Henriksen. Love that guy. He's awesome. So it's just fun. It's a campy popcorn movie for sure. And
they don't they fly?
Yes, they do.
Oh my God.
It's a fun romp. I don't know.
I'd have to have me a bat or something.
What do you like saying? Another popcorn movie.
Oh,
and it's been a long time since I've seen Piranha 2. But yes, James Cameron, who of course will go on.
Oh my gosh.
He's going to make Titanic and everything else. But yeah, that was an early film of his. Was it his first one?
I think so. Yes.
Oh, cool. I gotta watch it.
And Lance Henriksen also just
of course, Lance Henriksen. Of course, in Aliens and what was the TV show? He was at a Millennium.
Yes.
Yeah. That's another one. If you look for talk about TV shows, that's kind of horror, but sci-fi, that kind of thing. Millennium with Lance Henriksen, and of course Aliens, and but several others. But yeah, uh, well, okay, cool choice there. Okay, well, I guess we'll kind of wrap things up here. Very good one, good show here, and we actually got us a little crowd here tonight, and people are chiming in, so I certainly appreciate that. And also, anyone have idea for a topic for the next show? Because I'm trying to think, well, what direction we're going to go in. Because I was thinking, favorite performances. That's something that just pops in my mind, or favorite actors in a horror film. And when I say actor, I mean actor and actress. Just as a broad term, actor.
Yeah.
And so that definitely can lots that you could choose from, and just picking up specific moments in a movie that you really enjoyed, or a horror film that you really enjoyed. But I'll give it some thought,
Jay, Tuesday I leave and I won't be back till the 27th.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to see if I can't hop in. If you're doing, I usually do it. You usually do a couple of weeks, I think. I'll try to hop in and do a little bit with y'all, but I probably can't stay very long. I will be around a 9-11-year-old that if they're awake, they want my attention. And I love spending time with them grandkids. But, so maybe Jake might be able to come in more. And Jake, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
You had some really good ones too.
Yeah.
And I just had a comment on from on YouTube about our Hitchcock show, and Josie Moldoni.
Yeah.
Rope is very good, she says. So.
I haven't seen Rope. I gotta see it.
You gotta see Rope. Yeah.
What is this? Ali P, the Goddess. My favorite horror movie is Psycho 3.
Good one.
Yeah. Real good one.
Psycho 3. Now I've got that collection. I've got 2, 3, and 4 on a DVD set, and I need to watch Psycho 3 because it's been a while since I've seen Psycho 3. Psycho 2, that's one I'll bring up, as now that she's brought that up, I'll bring up Psycho 2 that, I remember at the time, it's like, God, making a sequel to Psycho, how dare you,
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's very well done. And Anthony Perkins is so good in it. But that actually turned out to be a really good movie, Psycho 2. And it's, very effective and well done. So,
I like that. Your idea of favorite actors or actresses, the movies they're in, any quotes, that would be fun.
Oh, yeah. Because
I like the quotes.
Bring up the actual actor or actresses. You definitely can bring up.
You got to talk about what they say in the movie. Come on,
the movies and things like that. And we'll keep that as what we'll probably keep it of horror films. Because if we said just any movie, then we'd be going forever. But stick it to horror films. Favorite actors of horror film, and of course, actors meaning man or woman. So that might be. I'm leaning towards that'll be our next subject.
Okay. Because I have to do research, Jake. It takes me a while to get my ducks in a row.
Favorite actors and performances in horror films.
Do my home. As the grandkids say, Nana, you gotta do your homework. Yep, gotta do the Nana homework, which is research. But
well, like I said, we actually had us a nice little crowd here tonight. We got, at its most, we got about 10, 11 people, so that was nice.
Please give us a thumbs up if you see this later. You can do it even afterwards.
That's how people are finding these shows.
Yeah.
I just got a comment from a woman I'd never heard of that found the Hitchcock Show, and I've been getting some new subscribers, and
there you go.
and
some of them might be Part
the
of the gray-haired crew.
Allie P, the goddess. I'm not sure if you've been on one of our shows or not, but
You'd be welcome.
yeah, always. And like I say, anybody that ever wants to join us on a live stream like with Jake, feel free to message me or leave a comment. Let me know that you'd like to participate, because the bigger the better as far as the crowd. And of course, you can say, Kathy, you're going to be out of pocket for about a week.
Yeah, like I said, I'll keep up with your schedule, and if I can pop in, I'll tell you. Jake, send me the link. I'm popping in, but I don't know what it's going to be like over there. I know during the day from April works 7 to 3. That's my daughter, Jake. She works, and her husband's gone to New York to sell his dad's estate because he passed away. So, so I'll be over there, handling the kids during the day. And in the evening, I can try, but I never know how things go.
Well, I'll give it some thought, but I'm kind of leaning that's what that will be the next subject. Favorite performances in horror.
Well, I'll be here Monday, but I'll be Tuesday through, for a while.
Well, that may be Monday when we'll do it. That might be a good day to do it. Do it Monday.
And Jake, he can add people and still he can add what? How many? 6?
I think the free version I can have up to 6.
Yeah. So
now, that may be including me, so it may be 5 more.
Yeah. So you guys can pop on
But here pretty soon, I'm actually going to start paying for StreamYard so I can spruce this up better. I want to have some images around the corner here, instead of just black. I'd like to have something, but I think that's not available on the free version. So I'll start paying for it. It's about $15-20 a month.
That's
so
not bad at all.
And so I can start getting it looking a little more professional, and a little better. But no, thank you, Jake, so much for participating in this. You had some great choices. And that's what we want. We want to have this. We want to have a conversation. We want to get people talking. And so let's do this again. Be sure to join us again, Jake. And be thinking about that. Be thinking about your favorite performances in horror films. Your favorite actors, actresses, and performances in a film, in horror films. And
quotes. I like those quotes.
So yeah, I think that'd be a fun topic to talk about.
Okay, well, I'm going to bow out, guys. Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jake.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Kathy.
Okay, and Jake, thank you so much, and thanks everyone for tuning in. If you would spread the word and let other people know about this, and like I say, if you're here or if you see this, please give us a thumbs up, because that helps us get seen and building the audience for Being Real. But thank you, Jake, so much, and thank everybody, and I will see y'all soon. Good night.
Right.
And let's see. Leave. Yeah, okay.